Thank you guys for having me today. I'm so grateful. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching. It means a lot to me. So today, guys, I'll be sharing my story on why I called off my engagement. See ya. Guys, welcome back again to my channel. And like I said, today I'll be sharing my story on why I called off my engagement. So guys, we met through a family friend. We got talking. It took a while though. One thing led to the other. We became friends. We started dating. We got engaged. He came to see my people. He did some things traditionally, and the wedding plans kicked off. Yeah, but shortly afterwards, everything just changed, or should I say, I just got to know him better. I realized that this person was not the kind of person I really wanted for myself, but I just did not have the courage to say I was done. And I realized he was very indecisive, and he lets everyone decide for him. He asks from everybody and still wants everybody to decide for him. And sometimes I'm like, okay, let's go with white, and he's like, okay, white is fine. And then he comes back, he's like, why white? I think rainbow is better. I'm like, rainbow, how? Where is that coming from? And then he's like, Adi said that, mommy said that, auntie said that. And I'm like, I don't understand, but there's no perfect relationship or perfect person. So I'm like, okay, let's go with it. And another thing again was that he couldn't stand up for himself, and at the end of the day he couldn't stand up for me as well, because this person can't stand up for himself, so how can he stand for someone else? And that was really depressing. And another thing was that he was so nonchalant and towards everything, even things that are very beneficial that could just change your life just like this. And he was very nonchalant. He didn't care. And what broke the camel's back was the fact that he locks everyone out, including myself, when he's having a bad day. Sometimes it takes days, sometimes it takes weeks. I'm serious, like it was that bad. And at some point I had to ask him, like, this is a relationship, this is marriage, and this is what you want. You asked me and I said yes. So I just feel right now there's certain things you shouldn't be doing, because it's not beneficial to both of us. Like, you just have to change and I'll do the same. And then he's like, this is me. When I'm having a bad day, I just want to be all by myself. That's how I get better. I'm like, I don't understand. This was a long distance relationship, guys, so how was I even supposed to feel? Sometimes for like days you don't get to hear from him, and then I call his sister. I'm like, okay, give him the phone, and she's like, oh, okay, that's fine. And she gets him, and he's like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm like, huh? Anybody? I'm not anybody. It is me. It is a wife to be. And then he's like, including you. And I'm like, wow, like that was really shocking. But what will I say? And we just continued moving on, and it just got worse day by day. And I was so sure I didn't want to be with this person anymore, but I just did not have the courage to say I was done. Like, the red flags were just everywhere. It was really everywhere. I was like, what will I tell my family? What will I tell my friends? What was I going to say? I felt so ashamed. I was embarrassed. I didn't know what to say. I just know I was really confused and broken. I got really sad. And there was this period after lectures, we're going home, I and my friend, and yeah, my sister, and I just fainted. Like, I just passed out. I was unconscious for a while. They took me to the hospital, and in the hospital it took a while before I woke up. And after I woke up, or rather immediately I woke up, I just started crying. And the first thing the doctor said was, did your boyfriend break up with you? And I just said yes, and nothing like that happened, but I just knew that was similar to what I was going through. So I was really sad. I lost myself in this relationship. Like, everything was just falling apart, guys. In as much as we want, nobody's perfect, I mean to say, there's no perfect relationship. We shouldn't try to make living in a gutter a happy place for us, because at the end of the day it's going to leave us dirty and stinky, and guess what, you're going to regret it. I did it, and I really regret it, every bit of it. And I lost myself because I really wanted this relationship to work. I let my guards down. all my standards, my rules. I broke all of it because I really wanted this relationship to work. Guys, I was a very understanding girlfriend. Like when I say understanding, my understanding needs to be studied. If understanding was a person, it has to be me. I'm not boasting, but for real, I was really understanding, and I held my relationship on my head, on my shoulders. Like I really held it up. It was so bad that when a random guy just says hi, I'm like, I have a boyfriend. When he said good morning, I'm like, I have a boyfriend. Like it was that bad, it was that crazy, and this is something I would actually not do normally, but I don't even know why I did. Like I was so I was drunk in love, let's put it that way. And guys, when I got engaged, it was all over for them. Like it was like this, I love my shoes. Like shoes is down, but I'm like, I love my shoes. Like I was just so glad, but and happy for this journey, but I was not just having it. I wasn't having I could not chew it anymore. Like I could not swallow it. And we just kept on moving, and I'm like, what's all this? So on this particular day, it was my birthday, and I called him 2 days after to remind him that on the 11th was actually my birthday, and you didn't. And then I was like, oh really? I didn't look at my phone. I was having a bad day. Someone bashed my car. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I'm like, what? Then I was so angry, Daddy. I'm like, what are you even saying? As long as life is concerned, there's always going to be ups and downs. Unforeseen circumstances will always come up. So are you trying to say when it happens, you just lock everybody out, including myself? And then he's like, he doesn't know, but this is just him. And I'm like, this is really not what I wanted. At that point in time, I knew I was done, but I just did not have the courage to say I was done. I just needed someone to tell me leave that relationship. But people around kept on saying, use your head, don't use your heart, think outside of the box. You know, those kind of things. And I understand, because they don't want a scenario whereby tomorrow I'm like, oh, she was the one that said it, was the one that said. They just wanted me to make the decision. And at that point in time, I was tired of thinking for myself. I was tired of making decisions. I just needed someone to tell me to leave the relationship, because I was thinking what I was going to tell everybody, my friends, family, what I was going to tell my dad, because when he came to the house, my dad was really sick at that point. So he was actually anticipating for the D-Day, and sometimes when he's really down, I'm like, let's take a walk. So would practice how you walk me down the aisle. And he's like, really? Okay, let's try. And it will actually happen, and at the end of the day, he just has a way of like smiling, and he's always happy about it. So I didn't want to tell him, especially in that situation, I didn't want to tell him I was done, and at the same time I didn't want to also tell him I wasn't interested anymore. I didn't want him to be worried, and I knew if he was okay at that point in time, would have told me, okay, just leave him, or probably even picked up the phone and say, young man, leave my daughter alone. And it was that bad because he couldn't say anything. He was that sick, and he didn't make it out of it. So dad, rest in peace. So I just found that I lost myself in that relationship. It wasn't working. I didn't just have the courage to say I was done. The person I needed to tell me was struggling for his life at that point in time. I was just so confused. And there's this particular day I just called him. I'm like, I have 3 questions to ask you. The first one was if he was doing this because he felt he was getting old as the only son, he needed to get married, or he thinks he was doing me a favor, or he's doing it because he loves me, and he's like, can we do this some other time? Like, like I was broken that day. I really needed answers, even though the red flags were everywhere. And that was it. I think he didn't even call me for like 4 days, and when he called, he stayed acting like everything was normal. I had to tell him everything was not normal, and we didn't talk for like 2 weeks, yeah, or a week plus. I didn't even know what was happening. I was just so confused. I just knew this was not what I bargained for. I just needed to like leave, but I never had the courage to do that. Like I lost myself in the relationship. When I mean lost, like every bit of it, because I have a way of masking my pain, but when you look close, you know that I'm actually not feeling fine and all. my mental health was not even having it. Like, I was losing my sanity. It was that bad. Even during exams, I tried to talk to myself. My parents sent me to school. I did not come to school because of relationship and all of it, but it wasn't just, it wasn't happening. Like, I just still find myself thinking about it. Everything I've put in the relationship. I was so sad. I was broken. Like, I was literally losing weight. I was getting dark. I would rather now want to be all by myself. I God, I just said this is not me. And it kept happening and happening. Things were just happening. I'm always making excuses for him. When they say this, I'm like this. When they say this, I'm like this. And guys, it was pretty bad. It was really, really bad. And at some point, I just said, okay, I'm not sure I wanted to do this anymore. And I just called him. I'm like, I need a break. And I was thinking in my head, he will beg, if you leave me, I'll die. Because ordinarily, that's what he says. Like, if I leave him, I was going to die or do something stupid. And I was so naive, so I thought he was going to do that. And I didn't want him to. But everything was getting too much, especially after I had gone to the hospital. So I just wanted myself first, my well-being first. I just told him, and I was thinking I was going to expect those drama. No, don't leave me, don't leave me. This kind of thing. So I'm like, I needed a break. And the first thing he asked me was, till when? I'm like, wow, till when? Like, I'm like, I don't know. And then he's like, okay, if I could say Jack Robinson, he has already cut the call. And a tiny part of me was like, he'll probably call back. Maybe he's at that. Guys, I called back. He did not pick call. And I'm like, oh, okay. I think this is not working. I feel this is the end of the road. And I just said okay, but I still once he would still call, we would talk to each other. But I just knew I wanted more, and it wasn't really what I wanted at that point in time. But I just didn't know what to say. I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. I was confused. I didn't know what I was going to tell everybody. And randomly, I just went through a post, and I just saw a celebrity, I can't remember her name. She had just called off her wedding, and her pre-wedding photo shoots were out, her invitation cards were everywhere, and everything was ready. And she could say, like, this person is quite popular, like everybody knows her, and she could say it in regardless of what they had to say, side talks, like everything. And that was actually where I got my courage from. I'm like, since this person that everyone knows can say this kind of thing publicly, then who is now me? And it's not like I would do it like publicly. You get, like, I'm not even this popular. Aside my family, my friends, who else knows me? Even my classmates, not all of them know me. My church members, how many of them know me? Then I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to. Then right there, I just sent him a message that I was done. And I was thinking he was going to call, but he didn't even call till after days. And then I already made up my mind. So this relationship really ruined me. Like, it almost destroyed me, but I'm glad I got myself back. I found myself doing things I wouldn't do ordinarily. I became very hostile, especially towards guys. You could just say hi and I would just insult you. And there was this day I went out in school, and this guy had just approached me, very polite, and I just finished him. I rained curses on him. I insulted him with with my last breath, with everything in me. And it happened again the second time, and that was the last time. And when I got home, I was happy, but while I slept, I woke up and I'm like, this is not me. I shouldn't let the fact that this guy made me bitter remain a bitter person. I just had to look. I just had to look for a way to make myself happy, to encourage myself, and all of it. And guys, I just got my grip and I forged ahead. And I'm like, if a fisherman goes to the stream or the river for fishing, and his first attempt was bad, maybe he got one fish or he got nothing, it doesn't stop him from fishing. I'm like, okay, let's continue. and that was actually how I got myself fishing again. I was really happy I got better. I'm very happy I healed, because I almost lost it because I wanted a relationship. I was scared of what people were going to say, and nobody even realized. I'm very sure most people will not even realize, and I'm really glad I got to that point. So guys, if you're in that toxic relationship, this video is for you, because I just got my strength randomly, so someone could just get the courage from this video. That's why I'm doing it. And let's not settle for less. If you want to, if you want to let your guards down or break your standards or your rule, just do it because you want to. Don't do it because anybody is persuading you. And let's not make the dirtiest gutter a happy place, because there's no perfect person or there's no perfect relationship. We all deserve love. So pretty much that is it. I got fishing again, and I found myself again. So guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Keep the comments coming in. They're quite encouraging, and I'm so glad doing this. So see you next time. Bye.